Today in the crypto space, we see the market taking a bit of a dip. Bitcoin down approximately 2.5%. Ethereum down approximately 2% below that $3,000 mark. The rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, are pretty much bleeding out as well. We have IMX, Celestia, Injective, Render, many others coming down to those lower levels. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about a certain project that is doing pretty good, or has been doing pretty good, and is it potentially going to be coming down for a retracement? That project is called Octaspace. So you know what? Let's talk about the news, let's analyze the charts, and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's scrape through the top 100, see what's going on with this general market. Then we'll take a look at Bitcoin and then the Octaspace price. Let's see what's going on with that price action. Do we have an opportunity? All right, guys, let's see. Bitcoin, the market cap, the trading volume. Right now we can see overall the market cap is coming down back below, down to about 2.36 trillion dollar market cap, and we have the trading volume going sideways. So as the market cap is falling, the trading volume, the volume in the market participation is not really there, which leads me to believe that this dip is not very strong, which means that maybe we could be gearing up for a nice pop or continuation up eventually. I'm keeping an eye on this because the last time we got a nice rally up, we got a lot of volume, a lot of conviction to that move to the upside. So that's giving me a bit of an edge that maybe we do continue eventually after this retracement. Bitcoin's definitely coming down. You can see that it came back down 2.6% in the last 24 hours, hovering around that $61,400 level. Guys, still within the support zone for me. You know, it invalidates my bullish thesis at about 61,000, which for me, of course, once it does break below, close a candle and start seeing some volume to the downside, my bearish price targets are obviously there. However, as long as we stay above the horizontal support, we could see Bitcoin still break out and still hit those bullish price targets. And if you scrape through the market, you can see a lot of dips. We see BNB coming down, actually more than I expect, but still coming down. Solana still holding up slightly. I think the meme coins are definitely keeping up Solana, but nonetheless, we're still rolling over a little bit, and you can see the rest of the market either going sideways or slowly dipping down, grinding to the downside, like AVAX, even SHIB looking pretty good here. The meme coins are still okay. They're holding up a lot better than the traditional market for that matter. We see Chainlink kind of going sideways as well. New York Protocol holding up, but sideways. Polygon holding up, but kind of slumpy. You know what I mean? ICP going sideways, planking sideways, and the list goes on, guys. So we can see that the general market at the current moment is kind of slowly bleeding out. Very slowly. Giving us an opportunity to maybe snipe a nice bottom as we get some sort of support level, maybe some sort of divergence, or anything like that that could get us bullish. But at the current moment, the market is still bleeding out. The market's still making those lower lows and lower highs, and Bitcoin is fighting and battling right now currently to make a nice higher low and higher low, and then maybe another higher high, and then maybe we do change direction of the trend. At the current moment, a lot of these altcoins are definitely coming down. Look at Arweave, Caspa, such bullish projects. VeChain coming down. We have BitTensor, Tau, guys, still bleeding out, down 21.5% to the downside. Sui is also coming down, guys. I'm thinking of buying a little bit more of Sui as it does come down, and keep that on my watch list if it hit my targets. Injective definitely bleeding out, coming down to slightly lower levels. Floki, the meme coins, 2.1% to the upside. I know it's not a big one, but it's going against the trend of the market. It's showing us a different agenda here. Meme coins are doing great. The dog coins are definitely taking over the market, so which is really good. Phantom rolling down to the downside 5%, and you can see the list goes on, guys. The overall consensus in the market is that we're bleeding out slightly. or bleeding out maybe more than expected, and I'm expecting that eventually we should get some support, but no signs of it just yet. Look at all this dips pretty much everywhere throughout the market. Either we're going sideways or we're dipping. Unfortunate times, but these are opportunities, right? These are opportunities, especially leading up to, you know, a support level. We should be allocating a bit of capital at great risk to reward ratio opportunities. Of course, guys, join me live tonight at 7:30 Eastern. We'll talk about crypto news and price action, and we'll look for setups throughout the market. Guys, I'll be taking your requests, and we'll be looking for setups where we can get in at nice, good levels of support. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. What's going on here with Bitcoin? Guys, nothing much, really. You know, the horizontal support that I have in here for a good while is still holding up. I'm not really emotional at this level. As long as we're seeing price action above the horizontal support, fine, we're in still a good state. In fact, even if we do wick below and, you know, do some business down here, it's all good as long as we make a higher low in comparison to this low. I think we're still in business here for a potential pivot to the upside, and a break of, you know, this little structure here at the bottom could mean that we come back above and basically hit the top of the range. Let's look at this in a little bit more detail. The reality is we are making an inverse head and shoulder, a very slanted one, a bit of a sloppy one for that matter, but nonetheless, it's still here. The reality is the confirmation low on this right shoulder, on this potential higher low, should be a very bullish thing for the price, especially breaking this little trend and breaking above this previous high. We start to break structure, and then we start looking for higher levels. We're still early, but it's looking okay. Do we take a bit of a chance? We can start building a long position and put in a tight stop loss right around 60,000, you know, more or less is pretty good, and build a position and expect a bounce. If we do break below, guys, we're hitting 52, stop yourself out and walk away. That's the way you do setups, guys. You have a clear risk and a clear area where you want to invalidate your bullish thesis. In this case, there's always a bearish thesis, of course. You know, we could keep on coming down, making another lower low. The trend is your friend. As you can see, we're making lower lows and lower highs. But this indication right here, the way we are making this higher low, means that we could be looking for a break of trend and then a change of character. And that's where we start getting bullish, and we start looking for bullish targets, right? So I'm trying to stay one step ahead of the market here. Obviously, as we do stay one step ahead, allocate the correct amount of capital based on your risk tolerance. You don't want to bet the farm on all these trades. It would be okay to build into a position over time as you get your confirmations. I really do like this level. Look at all this market participation right into here. Lots of accumulation, a lot of market participation, which is great. And then we have a volume gap below. That's how you come up with the target. We got the 200 daily EMA. This target at about 53, 52 more or less is a great bearish target if we do come down there. I'm wondering to see what will happen with the Bitcoin price, what kind of reaction we will get at that level. We're seeing that the momentum is stuck in the chop zone, kind of going sideways. The trend is doing great, you know, potentially moving to the upside. In the last little while, we got some purple happening here with the expansion of the trend waves doing pretty good, and the bullish divergence is still there, not invalidated. So, you know, as long as we stay within this structure and make this higher or low, guys, we're still okay here with Bitcoin. Okay, so let's move on. We'll touch base again on Bitcoin tonight, but in the meantime, let's go see what's going on here with Octaspace. Guys, it's been doing pretty good. You gotta admit, Octaspace at the current moment is pretty much outperforming a lot of the market. Look at this, making beautiful higher highs and higher lows. And at the current moment, we are basically in a short-term retracement, but we did break to all-time highs, and we pretty much got into price discovery, which is very healthy for this deep pin project. I think it's going to be a very strong one in this bull run. Now, of course, it all depends on your entries, but I'm going to assume that your entries will be right around here, because entries like these are ones that basically we got into here on the channel previous last spring. We were fall, we were DCing all into this level. Very bullish. I was very bullish. I'm still very bullish on Octa. What you really have to understand is that people down here that bought the dip, that bought in nice and early, are basically in some severe profits. Okay, this is the reality. You know, being in profit is one of those scenarios that you have to understand, is that you need to take profit off the table in order to classify yourself as profitable. So what do you think these individuals are going to do as we get to extreme levels? They're going to take profits. They're going to reward themselves for taking risk at these bottoms. And that's what you have to understand. The only thing is that as the bull run or the bull rally continues, expect eventual higher highs and higher lows. The only issue here is that we do see a few signs of exhaustion, or at least a sign that we do need a bit of a consolidation. Now, what does that mean? That means that we see that the overall momentum is it's getting overbought. It has gotten overbought. And this is one of the rare altcoins or rare projects at the current moment that is in a green bullish expansion phase, and actually getting a green dot here for a bullish continuation for Confluent. You can see that we build green dots as soon as we start seeing a potential continuation, bullish scenarios, and then holding steady and potentially continuing the bullishness. We got into a bit of a bearish stance when we did dip down, but all of a sudden we're getting bullish again. So this is something that I want to keep an eye on, because this expansion is definitely there, but guess what? The momentum is already overbought. It got overbought, and in fact we're seeing class A a bearish divergence on these tops on the price action, and we're seeing a bit of divergence even on bigger time frames. So let's stick here for a second, okay, before we get ahead of ourselves here. We can see that we're making lower lows on the price action, lower highs on the momentum and higher highs on the price action. That's class A bearish divergence. Fine. We also see that we did get a nice volume spike into here, but we also see this, and I'm going to reuse some of these lines because there's no point of cluttering up this this chart even more, because it's already getting cluttered. Let's get rid of this. This formation is done, and let's look at what's happening here. You can see we got a nice high here, and we're forming a bit of a high right now. Now, if you look at what's happening in this high and this current high, basically we're making higher highs on the price action, even big picture, and this would look very nicely on the 4-day, maybe even on the weekly, but it's all good. It shows the same thing here. We are making a lower highs big picture here on the momentum. Not a good look. And if you also see the expansion, look at this expansion, huge green expansion, and then look at this expansion. Although it is nice and green and it's still in the works, the reality is it doesn't look as strong as the price action is currently in comparison to this one. So that means we're also diverging with regards to the strength of the expansion, which is not a good look either. Now, it's not over yet. Like, if we, after this little consolidation right here in the momentum, we could break out and get into a severe overbought scenario. It's very possible. And then what do you expect for the price? The price will break out and continue moving and hitting those higher levels. The only issue here is it's risky. Entering right now is very, very risky. Now, it could be a good thing, but it's risky. Just understand. Look at the trend. The trend looks a little bit like it may be exhausted. You look, we're getting a pale purple, which means that we could be rolling over. We're getting divergence on the MACD as well. Look at these histogram bars coming down. We did not get an EMA cross just yet, which is still okay. EMAs are facing up and open, which means that we do have a bit of a trend to the upside, still in the bullish control zone, which is great. But could we get a short-term retracement where we backtest these previous highs, backtest all of this price action, and maybe check if there are any weak hands there that want to sell, hunt that liquidity? It could be possible. So we do have a weak spot here based on the volume. You can see a volume gap right into here with a bit of weakness. There is weakness right into here that would allow the price to come down a little bit further. But in a bullish sense, what about if we consolidate and go sideways? What about if we build a bit of a structure right into here where we go sideways, where we can put a stop loss, accumulate again, and get another bull flag to the upside? Remember, this is just hypothetical. It could be downward sloping like this one. It could be upward sloping. It could be an inverse head and shoulders, a W formation, any type of pattern or any type of structure we can build in here that could allow us to be defensive on our position by putting a stop loss. That's the issue. But when you're seeing divergence like this on both oscillators and momentum and trend, and you're seeing a nice move that we've basically had for a good while without a major retracement. Okay, this one was pretty good. Wasn't that bad. We hit the bottom of the volume gap almost, and we hit the 200 daily almost. We got a nice bounce to the upside, but we're getting divergence here, guys. We're getting divergence. So it's a bit risky right now to get in with full conviction without, DCAing or preparing for a dip for lower levels and DCAing at slightly lower levels. That's what I would be thinking about at the current moment. Now, one last thing before we go into lower time frames, I want to show you one more thing that's pretty confluent here. And I'm eyeballing it at this point. I think if we hit the 1.27, 1.618, at least the 1.27, I think it's the 1.618. Boom, right here, 1.618 at $2.10, more or less, $2.16. That's a very confluent area for a profit-taking zone for a lot of traders, right? And if you're looking at extension level, statistically speaking, that is when you see profit taking. Now, if we would use the same theory, let's say hypothetically right here, I wonder what it would look like. Look, 1.618 hit that level. We got a little bit higher, but fine. If you took profit here, look how good that would have been for you to take a bit of profit off the table at the zone and then buy the dips here with these green arrows. Okay, so just keep that in mind. 1.618, 1.27s are great areas to de-risk. Now all of a sudden we're in a zone where we're looking for buying opportunities. Now just keep in mind that this dip already happened. People bought into here. People wasn't able to really scale into this level. That's totally fine. But even people that bought the dip right around this level are in some profit. Why? Because look, this entry right here, right now, we're up approximately, I would say 50%. To be exact, yeah, it's about 50%. You're up 50% from that entry to where we are right now currently, and that means you're in some good gains even on that little move to the upside. If you were able to take the signal earlier on that I did release about buying the dips in those levels, now you would have got into maybe 50% of your bag, which would have been totally fine because at least you're in the green, and you would have reserved a bit of capital to buy at lower levels through the volume gap. But so be it. No big deal. At least you have some skin in the game to take a bit of profit and call yourself a profitable trader. Now, this is where you have to make some critical decisions. Are you going to defend the gains? Are you going to take some profit off the table right here at the 1.27 golden pocket type of retrace, extension level? Taking profit off the table means that you're going to be a profitable trader and that you might have a bit of capital to be buying the dips if the market comes down further. We do see a lot of red happening today, guys. I do feel a lot of projects are not in this state where they're moving upwards like this. A lot of them are at critical levels, desperately trying to hold horizontal support. This is a sign of bullishness for Octaspace. So take that, into consideration when you're taking profit, and take it into consideration that when we do, and if we do get a retracement, don't expect a deep one, because right now this thing is showing a ton of strength while the rest of the market, including a lot of the bullish projects, are showing weakness. So this is really good. It's neutralizing the negativity and still maintaining a trajectory to the upside. Octaspace is looking really good, but you're buying a top, and that's the issue at the current moment. I would prefer waiting for a nice golden pocket retracement right around here to deploy a bit of capital, but more importantly, let's see if we can get oversold again, even on the 4-hour, on lower time frames. Let's get to the chop zone at least. Let's see the momentum of the trend come down a little bit and isolate an entry on the 4-hour, waiting for the purple line to get oversold, and maybe that will take us down to this bottom of the volume gap at about $1.50. Point of control, previous price action for support, a lot of good confluence at $1.50. That's what I would be looking for to see if we get a bounce and if we get oversold on the 4-hour. If you get in on the 4-hour on this retracement, if it does happen, this bearish divergence does happen, and we get down to these levels, you got to be prepared to take a bit of profit, or at least put yourself at break even, because it could be that the market in general does come down further, and maybe Octaspace doesn't have the strength to hold up as long as Bitcoin is falling. If Bitcoin comes down to 52K, expect Octaspace to take a bit of a hit as well, and who knows how low we're going to go. This is why risk management is key. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Join me tonight at 7:30 Eastern talking about crypto news and price action. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.